Hi, everyone. My name is Cameron Maynard, and this is my video podcast reaction for week one of JMC 605. I enjoyed watching the video called The Future of Sports Media Complex Conversations. The speakers made some good points in the video that really resonated with me, and I am looking forward to learning about the kind of stuff they spoke about more in the class. The one thing I will say about the video is that their talk seemed to be mostly for people who choose to be on camera in sports media and not write for a print newspaper like me. I've always been a print reporter for newspapers since graduating from college in 2019 with my bachelor's degree in journalism, but however, I still found the video helpful. Three helpful things that I took away from the video were their discussions about storytelling, authenticity, and building your brand. Even though I'm a print reporter for a print newspaper, I can still use their talk about storytelling to my benefit as my career goes on. I feel like listening to them discuss the term will help me not necessarily write better game stories and cover events as I already know how to do that stuff, but rather it'll help me type columns, stuff like coach or athlete profiles and things of that nature. Um, it'll tell me how to be creative and effectively tell a story in an article I type, and it will, arm me with the knowledge of how to do that. And as a journalist, you always want to be authentic. You want to strive to always give your true opinion and not just say things to make people think that you're biased and, only on one side. You don't want to do that. Building your brand is also important because the more you prioritize that in your career and get your name out there in different ways, more people in the industry will notice you, and that could in turn make you a more successful journalist. Unfortunately, in the TED Talk by Jason Peterson, I was in the same exact boat as him when he mentioned that he is a perpetually disappointed sports fan. Being a University of Kentucky, Cincinnati Bengals, Cincinnati Reds, and Columbus Blue Jackets fan is incredibly hard as they pretty much always disappoint you. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt and tell it like it is. I don't really have a favorite NBA team. I've just followed different teams over the years, but those are my four main teams. And but anyway, back to my discussion. Um, I enjoyed listening to Peterson's TED Talk. He made many great points in the video about the sports world, and I could relate to a lot of them, such as being trained to think of the phrase roll tide when I hear the University of Alabama mentioned, and watching football on Thanksgiving, which is, something I do religiously along with watching football all the other times in the fall, all the other weeks in the fall. One noteworthy line that Peterson said in the TED Talk was that the acquisition of information through the media has profound effects on the user and basically could impact what we think is important, and how we formulate public opinion. And he said sports have to be on the list of what matters to us when we're looking at the media. This tells me that I need to do everything in my power to provide quality sports coverage to my readers as a sports writer. If I know they have a passion for sports and they want quality sports journalism and information about their teams, then I know it is my job to give it to them. And if I don't give it to them, if I don't give them the quality coverage of their teams they want, then quite frankly, I haven't succeeded at my job. Another noteworthy thing is when he brought up in the video that the media has a source of convenient and cheap content. As journalists, we can't give our readers that kind of content. We have to always think outside the box and make sure our stories are insightful, informative, and hook the reader starting with the headline.